Hello. Am I close enough to the mic? Maybe I need to be a little bit more closer. Hello. Hello. Can you hear this? Can you hear it beeping? I can too. That's because everything's fine now, apparently. Can you imagine? My awful, nasty electricity problems probably came to an end. Aren't you happy? I'm happy for sure. Oh, it was unbearable this week. It was so bad. It was so bad. Literally, like 2 days ago, on Monday, we had 160 volts in our sockets. 160 fucking volts out of 220 that we're supposed to be having. Normally, as European citizens. What the fuck? That was awful. And then at first we thought, hey, that's probably because of abnormally hot weather. That's why electricity is getting fucked and fucked. But turned out to be that it's actually somebody was stalling electricity from houses of people, which is really fucking funny. Which is like Yakuza, like a dragon plot, no? It literally is. Holy shit! I forgot about it, that they had it in Yakuza. Whoa! Why did I forget about it? That is weird. And why did I remember it now? It doesn't matter, but like, why did I just remember it right now? Okay, that's all that happened. I don't have anything to say anymore. Oh, I have something to say. I was looking at Armor Core page on Steam because I need to open Steam every time I'm streaming, obviously. And I'm looking at this page, and I'm looking at images, and I'm looking at trailer, and I'm not seeing any fucking gameplay. What even is this? Mecha 3D fight. Excuse me? Third person, okay? Future. What is this genre? What is this? How is this game played? When I googled it and looked at screenshots of like earlier Armored Cores, it looks like it looks weird. It's really weird gameplay, especially in early ones. How is it gonna play? There's also some screenshots that doesn't have any UI, and it looks like Metal Gear Revengers meets Bayonetta type of thing, but it's supposed to be. Maybe it is like. Oh, I said Bayonetta actually meant Nier Automata. Yeah. It looks bad. Will this look good? Armored Core 5 demo, PC3. Uh oh. Wait, which Armored Core? Is Armored Core 6 coming out? Fires of Rubicon. What's why I went on Steam is because I wanted to look at Overwatch 2, and it's not on the front page anymore. Why not? Let's actually go and look at it. Hold on. Uh-oh, run caption. Oops. Oh, it's still here. Oh my god, it's so... Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Yikes, it's so bad. Well, fuck them, Blizzard, I guess. Where is a comment about Overwatch porn? Where is it? I need to look at it. It's not here anymore. Aww. Oh, here it is. No, it's some copycat. It's not the original one. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Oh, Oops. Immersion ruined, I guess. I'm sorry. The most not boring stream ever? It's a rough beginning, but you know. I didn't stream for 5 fucking days. And even 5 days ago, I couldn't do a normal stream. Oh, I'm actually streaming on Saturday. Right? I'm streaming on Saturday. I'm not streaming in my usual hours. I'm gonna stream later, and I'm gonna stream for like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. I don't think I can handle 8 hours, so maybe like 5, 4, 6. I'm hoping I can do it. I'm gonna stream until I fall asleep, so I never did it before. I think it's a good thing. Oh, and on 25th is my university as a streamer. Anniversary. What? Why is it so hard to talk? Huh? Anniversary as a streamer. I'm streaming for a whole year. Not VTubing, just streaming. Not impressive, because a lot of other people have much cooler, bigger, interesting, more exciting results out of streaming. But you know, I don't actually care all that much. I'm just happy to be here and doing this. I'm having fun. That's the only thing important. Oh, and my English got really better from the year ago. Like, so much better. I am so much better now at speaking. I'm almost not nervous at all. I could probably carry a conversation if somebody would to try to talk to me, or I could probably not. I'm not really doing this a lot here. I'm also better at thinking of words and at making sentences like on a run. Make voices, at reading out loud. Yeah, and I started a year ago. I was playing Tsukihime. And I don't remember plot of Tsukihime. I actually remember it about anniversary, and I was like, fuck, I was playing Tsukihime. Do I remember what Tsukihime was about? And I remember that main character raped many women on here, and that's it. Oh, and I also... Oh, I shouldn't say this. We're not saying this. Fuck you, Twitch. We're not saying this. It was also like a hentai game, so... Whatever. Let's read it. I actually read this part on a stream 5 days ago, but I decided to delete it. Because, you know, I could just read all of this and be part of a whole stream. Right? What happened last time? Episode 1, chapter 7. Ooh, now I need to know how many chapters in episode 1. Bing? Using Bing? I hate Bing. Umineko. How many chapters? Nope. 17. Oh, it's probably... Do I read a chapter a stream? Do you think we could try and finish first episode on Saturday? I don't think so. We are on the 7 out of 17. So first episode 17, second episode 18, third episode 18, and fourth episode 19. Oh, there's fucking 8 episodes. I thought it's only 4. No, it's 4 questions and 4 answers. Okay, we need to finish this shit this month then. This episode this month at least. So last time we witnessed awful parenting, and we saw an Eva, who is the youngest daughter of an Ushinomiya family. Oh no, her name is Rosa. This is Eva. No, who's Eva? Oh, you're Eva. Okay, I remember all these characters totally. So Rosa left her child Maria at the winds, at the rain, at the thunder, and somebody gave umbrella to Maria, and nobody knows who actually did it. It's probably Beatrice. We know it's Beatrice. And a little bit confirms existence of another person on the island, but the question is it actually Beatrice, or is it somebody else who they try to frame like a witch, but it's actually like a person who's a killer, and it's all actually set up for normal murder mystery, not whatever the fuck is gonna happen here? Who knows? Genji-san, were you the one who left Maria-sama an umbrella? Oh. Umbrella? What are you talking about? Right. I heard that when it started raining, Maria-sama was alone at the rose garden. And it seems that she borrowed an umbrella from someone here. But we didn't know who it was. It wasn't me. After all, I thought that Maria-sama was in a guest house. When Butler-sama first found her, she was already holding a white umbrella. My apologies, but it was not me either. Then you don't think that it is the master, possibly? Everyone in both the dining hall and the place where they were standing now has stated that it hasn't been them, which means that only Kinza was left, but maybe he went walking down the corridor for some reason, when, by coincidence, he saw Maria-sama in the rose garden without even an umbrella. The master does not particularly like Maria-sama. I agree. I can imagine that, just for Maria-sama, he would trouble himself to go all the way down the stairs to carry an umbrella to her directly. Oh my, how troublesome. So that means that the only one who lent Maria-sama an umbrella really was Beatrice-sama? Ha ha ha. I must have laughed just like their relatives in the dining hall has laughed it off. She couldn't think of any other way to break through the smoke veil in the current situation. Just then, the crisp sound of hands clapping twice ran through the hallway. Uh-oh, hold on. I'm back. I'm back with a pillow behind my back. So now I feel good. And then the crisp sound of hands clapping twice ran through the hallway. They all turned around at once to see that it was Godda, who was coming out of the dining hall. Chop chop, everyone! When serving a dinner, it is essential to make sure the dishes are served with the proper timing. Please immediately see to setting out the soup. Genji-san, the Wilbur are in the middle of an important job, so please don't get in the way. ... Karan glared at Godda for being rude to Genji, a person Karan respected. Genji, realizing this, patted Karan once on the shoulder as if to warn him. Karan reluctantly turned away and returned his expression to normal. Obey Godda's order. Let us now hurry to prepare the dining table. Come on, we have no time. Don't just dwindle around. Hurry! Gonda grabbed the serving cart from Shannon and drove it past her, heading towards the kitchen at pace. Then, please allow us to return to the kitchen. After all, Godda-san's patience is very short. Please excuse me as well. Kumasawa and Sharon left. Only Genji and Karan remained. Through the windows, the darkness of a rainy night could be seen, along with the occasional thunderbolt. Hell's Halls. Genji-sama, has Beatrice-sama really returned? I don't know. Should we inform the master? There's no need. If she has truly returned, she will eventually appear before the master of her own accord. Furthermore, she's a fickle person. Fickle? Fickle? What's fickle mean? I'm just in the mood of googling thing. I'm sorry. I mean, using Bing to search. Fickle. Like windy? Cambridge Dictionary. Likely to change your opinion or your feeling suddenly without a good reason. Fluid, dynamic. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Bing. Furthermore, she's a fickle person. It would not be pointless to resort to the master only to find that she does not appear. I wonder if it means that the master's ritual has already begun. Probably. However, that has nothing to do with furniture like us. We must return the favors that we received from the master, until our final moments. Yes, as furniture, that is our duty. The thunder crashed once more. Except for that instant when the lightning lit up the sky, all that could be seen out of the window was the darkness of night. Just as humans rule when the sun is up, the time when the sun is down is ruled by those that are not human. Oh, I mean ruled, not like ruled. The darkness of a night that now surrounded Rokijima was ruled not by the Shinomiya family, but by another master. Did this master take pity on Maria when she was alone and pummeled by the rain in a rose garden and lent her an umbrella? Helen looked at the rose garden's light, dimly visible beyond the window. The dim lights were not enough to illuminate the surrounding area. Looking at those lights felt like making eye contact with a witch, and Canon forcibly averted his gaze. If he didn't, it felt like his eyes would be absorbed by the light. I'm good at reading today, can you hear this? You know, sometimes I sound as if I'm reading, but sometimes I feel like I'm reading, but I'm not reading. I mean, fuck. Awful explanation, awful sentences. You can hear as if I'm reading from a paper, but sometimes you can hear as if I'm reading from a paper. At least I think so. I probably sound exactly the same or really close. But I feel like when I read in a bad way, you can like my accent is worse and you just can feel that I'm reading a text somewhere. But now it was good. Good 70 minutes of a stream, yay! Perhaps the weather was also the factor. You often hear stories about how things are atmospheric pressure can influence people's moods and physical health. Is it actually true? Because people in my family always saying this, and I feel like once I googled it and it wasn't actually true. Like, I understand atmospheric pressure somewhere on a plane or on a mountain or somewhere like completely elsewhere, but atmospheric pressure when you live all at the same time in one place, and I don't actually think so. Some time now, everyone had been making periodic attempts to clear the gloomy atmosphere, but any conversation was quickly cut off, and in the end, the dining hall was simply buried by the sounds of rain. Buried. Nah, I suck. Dessert was some kind of chocolate cake accompanied by pear sherbet. Gora-san enthusiastically explained the recipe as if delivering the cooked grace, but I quickly forgot the details. The guest of honor, grandfather, was absent, the weather was horrible, and the person who had lent Maria the umbrella was still a mystery. The dinner ended, when the dinner ended, no one felt even one bit refreshed. It was too late now, but I realized painfully that taste wasn't only an important part of a meal, the whole atmosphere was also critical. Gora-san, the supposed conductor of the performance called dinner, did his best to live in the place, dropping the jokes like a ride, but it seems they didn't quite get there. I should slow down a little bit. After taking orders for after dinner coffee, okay, I fucked it up. After taking orders for after-dinner coffee, tea, and orange juice, he left for the kitchen. As soon as he disappeared, Uncle Kraus spoke. My, how truly irksome that this dinner, which Koda worked so hard to create, has been so poorly received. Yeah, fuck, what was her voice? Yes, seriously. It feels like nothing would taste good today. It's just that kind of mood. What is this, like, Wally accent, huh? Can I do? I'm always thinking of Kafka when I try to do his voice, but I kinda can't remember how his voice sounds. Virginia Krause, huh? I would love to hear why you felt that way. Sometime later, allow me, as a younger brother, to help cheer you up. Aunt Eva grimaced slightly. I had all known already that she was not in good terms with Uncle Krause, but now I could really clearly feel it. When I looked around, I noticed that my dad and Aunt Rosa were also grimacing. Grimacing? Anyhow, it looked like there was something beside the weather that was troubling all of them. Auntie Yeva and my dad, they both looked like that in a bad mood. Really? I don't think so. I asked Aunt Natsuhi, who was sitting on my right, but it looked like she was also in a bad mood. She snapped back as though she was absolutely not interested. Well, our little conversation got a little complicated. It's not something kids like you need to worry about, Butler-kun. Haha, right? Natsuhi-san, Kiro-san. Uncle Hideyoshi laughed as he spoke, but without his usual brightness, so I could vaguely imagine just how complicated their adult conversation has actually become. On top of that, even Aunt Natsuhi and Kiro-san, the people he had directed his comment to, ignored him as though they hadn't heard anything. Rough. I didn't know what kind of conversation they had been having while we kids were away, but it reminded me of how Dad said, "Can you hear now that I'm reading?" I feel like, yeah, right now quality of reading just went down, 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 down. But it reminded me of how Dad has said he had stomach cramps when he had arrived at the mansion. The family conference might have been playing reunion to us kids, but it was definitely different for the adults. After Uncle Hideyoshi was ignored by other adults, an awkward silence fell over the room. Kiryu-san spoke up. We were talking about how kids' careers will turn out. What will you do in the future, Butler-kun? Just drift on to college? Wouldn't that be a little disheartening as a starting line for the long race of life? Hey, wait a sec. Kiryu-san, if you start talking about something like that in the middle of a meal, it won't digest then and we'll all get constipated, right? That's right. This is actually funny. He said on Clearly Unfunny Thing. We're talking about Butler-kun and Jessica-chan's careers. You can't take the future too seriously. Haha. Hiroshi hardly agreed as if they really had been talking about that, but they probably hadn't. Kiryu-san was obviously been trying to avoid talking about something. However, if Kiryu-san was determined that this was the best course of action for now, she was probably right. Taking into account, I decided to cast aside my suspicion as to cause behind Aunt Eva and Dad's bad moods. At long last, the servant cart returned filling with coffee and tea. Kumasawa-san and Chan-chan served it to everyone. Gora-san then explained that with this, tonight's dinner was over. If I had been able to eat in a more cheerful mood, it might have been the best dinner of my life. It was a shame that this greatest of dinners couldn't have been had under the greatest of conditions. George and Isan, is dinner over now? Over? Yes, we're all done now. That's not ladylike. Stay in your seat and calmly drink up. Maria looked like she was really excited about the occasional crashing thunder. Maybe she wanted too quickly to finish eating and run over to the window. She has been fidgeting for a while, waiting for the meal to end. Some people are afraid of a thunder, while others find it interesting, and Maria was apparently one of the latter. So when she heard from George Anarchy that dinner's over, a huge smile broke across her face. She then stood from her seat, took out her handbag, which she had set under the seat, never having left it while she was eating, and began fishing around inside of it. Is it weird that I have more troubles reading when there is a lot of short words in a row? Left it even while she was eating. Hard. No one seemed particularly concerned with this behavior. What's that? Where did she get it? George was not the first to notice. As he spoke, Butler also noticed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. When they looked, they noticed that Maria has now holding a beautiful Western-style envelope. On the front of the envelope, the Shiremiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, was done in a gold leaf. Furthermore, it was sealed with dark red wax, imbuing a level of class upon it that made it clear that this was not something that Maria should be carrying around for fun. Maria-chan! What is that? It seems that Natsuyu has also noticed the strangest of envelopes that Maria was holding. Because her voice sounded too serious to be admonished a small child, the other relatives around her finally noticed. What's up, Natsuhina-san? What is that? Maria, where did you pick that up? That envelope has Kinzo-san's... As Nanja murdered that, even us kids could understand why everyone seemed to be frozen solid. The envelope that Maria held was one of the Shiremiya family head's custom-made envelopes for private use. In other words, it could only mean one thing. This envelope contained a message from Kinzo. Huh. What is an envelope like that doing here? It looks like something interesting has jumped out at us. Just let me have a peek. No, I'm reading it. I was told to read it to everyone. Uncle Hideyoshi tried to snatch the envelope out from Maria's hands, but she protected it as though hugging it and didn't let go. Hideyoshi-nisan, you shouldn't take something from a child by brute force. Maria-chan, where did you get this envelope? Got it from Beatrice when she gave me an umbrella. She told me to read it to everyone after the meal was over. I'm the witch's messenger. Messenger? The witch of the island sure likes to mess around. Butler tried to joke about it, but no one went along with it. I wonder what's written inside of it, Maria-chan? Reading! Maria casually opened the envelope. It was sealed only with wax, so she just had to remove the sealing wax to open it. The sealing wax fell onto the desk. Hideyoshi hastily picked it up and stared fixedly at it. Fixedly? What's the word fixedly? At it. He then sat it in the center of a table where Natsuhi, Kiri, and Ninja glanced at it. Imprinted there in the sealing wax was the one-winged eagle, which was the Ushinomiya family crest and also Kinzo's personal crest. This is family head's personal crest. I know because I've received letters from Kinzo-san before. Without a doubt, this is Kinzo-san wax seal. But in this mansion, couldn't there be several identical seals? For example, if there was one kind of stamps for wax seals, couldn't someone other than Kinzo-san have sealed it? No, Kinzo-san would always use a ring on the finger, his proof of the Shiremiya family headship, when he sealed the wax. The shape and complex design is definitely Kinzo-san's seal. That is not necessary so. Anyone in the family must have received a letter from Dad at least once. We can eliminate the possibility that someone using that wax as a model created a fake seal to pass himself off as a father. Can you shut up? Excuse me? We have a moment here, like Beatrice sent me a message. I wanna hear it. I agree with Aniki, no matter how the seal resembles that, we can prove that it's a real thing. Therefore, it doesn't prove that this envelope came from— Like, shut up. I feel the same way. I cannot approve the arbitrary deciding that this is father's letter only by the seal and the wax. Dr. Nanjia, would you mind refraining from speaking such vague words? I apologize. I said too much. One after another, all of the siblings from Kraus on downwards rejected Nanji's statement, saying that the envelopes that Maria was holding had not necessarily been sent by Kinza. They were afraid. Kinza's assistant should have written in here, and they feared from the bottoms of their hearts that it might be some decidedly unfavorable announcement regarding their inheritance. You fucking losers, there's a fucking witch here, shut up! Maria, the person who gave you that envelope was the same person who lent you that umbrella, right? Oh, so now they kind of think it could be Kinza, right? But it's not. I believe in Beatrice. I don't know what that means. Is it true? Yes. So, in other words, the witch, Beatrice, gave you that envelope along with the umbrella? Maria nodded forcefully. I agree with my husband. It is a dubious letter handed over by some suspicious person. It's not even worth reading. Are you insane? What? Of course it's worth reading. This is cool. At least have some adventure sense in your mind. Oh, go on. What's the worst thing that could happen, right? Vital stared to Jessica in a small voice, pretending to stir things up, but not so he heard him clearly, and glared at him with threatening eyes, threatening. And then, And then Beatrice told you to read it to us? Probably what she said. Why not, everyone? This isn't grandfather's envelope, it's Beatrice's. Who cares who wrote it? Why can't we just hear what's inside before passing judgment? Fucking finally! Only sane person in the room? That's right. Even if father didn't necessarily write it, I'm still concerned about its content. Maria-chan, I'm sorry I tried to take it from you by force earlier. I apologize, so will you read it out loud in front of everyone? Maria, read it. As all of their relatives stared fiercely at Maria, she spread the letter open with a rustle. Authentic paper sounds? Do you think this is really Dad's letter? Impossible. Whether father was announced something to us in the past, if he didn't do it directly, he would always send Genji-san, right? I can't believe that he would use such a joke-like approach. That's right. Maria, a messenger? That's seriously not his style. Rosa, this must be Maria-chan trying to surprise us with some kind of hidden talent, right? Maria's not a kid capable of something so... Fuck you, Rosa. Reading. The words came out of Maria's mouth, but for some reason it felt like her voice was different than usual. Everyone's suddenly silent. Suspicious scent. Welcome to Rukejima, ladies and gentlemen of the Oshinomiya family. I am Beatrice, the alchemist for this family under the employ of Kinza-sama. How absurd! Quiet. I have served him for many years in accordance with our contract, but today, Kinza-sama has announced the termination of that contract. Therefore, I ask that you acknowledge my resignation from the position of a family alchemist as of today. How foolish! What nonsense! I can stand to listen to it. And now, there is one part of the contract that I must explain to you all. I, Beatrice, lent Kinza-sama a vast quantity of gold under certain terms. One of these terms specified that all the gold is to be returned to me upon the termination of the contract. Furthermore, I am to receive everything of the Oshinomiya family as interest. Ridiculous! It's been ridiculous from the very beginning. So it's basically one of those things, right? Just like one of those contracts with the devil you always hear about. And the contract has expired, so she's come to collect the interest. Is she trying to grab some retirement money for her old age or something? What a cheeky bitch. Butler-kun, it's not a time to joke around. Butler made a face as if to ask, if I can make fun of this, what can I make fun of? Ultimate comedian gambit. Holy shit. Okay. At the same time, some of the adults' faces were pale, where others looked completely shocked. Can we continue reading? After hearing this, you may feel as though Kinzo-sama has been savagely ruthless. However, Kinzo-sama did append a special clause to the contract so that you would have a chance to preserve your vows and honor. If, and only if, that special clause is fulfilled, I will lose my rights to the gold and the interest for all eternity. A special cause? What is it? Special cause. Beatrice has the right to collect the gold and accumulate interest upon the termination of a contract. However, if someone is able to discover the hidden gold of this contract, Beatrice must abandon these rights for all time. The collection of the interest will proceed shortly, but if any one of you fulfills the terms of this special cause, I shall return everything, including the portion that has already been collected. Furthermore, as the first step in the collection of Kinzo-sama's debt, I have taken possession of the Ushinomiya family head's ring, which signifies the passage of the Ushinomiya family hardship from one individual to another. I ask that you confirm this for yourself by examining the imprint or a wax seal. You want me to accept this is real? That Dad would relinquish his ring is unthinkable. Cross was staring at the ceiling box. Ceiling? Ceiling? Like up? Okay, no. I love Beatrice. Love her. I love her. I didn't even saw her, but I love her already. Although he was trying to burn a hole through it. Eva and Rodolphe were doing the same over his shoulder. I did have the odd feeling that something was missing from Kinzo-san's finger when we have played chess. Dr. Nanjo! Don't say something so careless just because of a vague memory! We can't prove its authenticity here. The question of whether father really has handed over the ring and whether his letter tells the truth, we can determine simply by asking him directly. That's right. It's just as Kiryu-san says. Well now, I wonder, will Kinzo-san answer you? After all, that person saw it as something impossible to predict using common sense. In any event, this does not leave the realm of nonsense. In the first place, the fiction of the gold is itself a depiction by father. If you want to talk about non-existent gold, leave me out of this. But you heard what Witch is saying, right? How about the hardship and all of the assets would be handed over to the one who finds the gold? What? Okay, I'm having some troubles. Headship and all the assets will be handed over to one who finds the gold. Okay, I can't say what I'm talking about because I'm kind of spoiling the chapter, the episode. So could this mean that Beatrice-sama is father's legal advisor or maybe in charge of his funds? We can't possibly trust the kind of strange person who would entrust such a suspicious paper to a child. Aniki, time for you to open up. Is it possible that someone you don't know is actually handling Dad's assets? No, that's impossible! As the agent to the head, I have total knowledge of all of Father's assets. There shouldn't be anyone who can manipulate them without me knowing it. Then there must be some assets that you do not have full knowledge of, mustn't there, Kraus-Nissan? Absurd! There is no such thing! Oh yes, there is. One asset of Father's that you know nothing about. There is no way that something like that exists. No, It does. That be father's... No. Beatrice's hidden gold! Let's put things in order. In short, that has some trusted confidant that not even Aniki knows about. Did she finish reading the letter, or is it more in the letter? Like, let you finish! I feel like she finished. Is she? It feels like she didn't finish and they just talking over because of fucking seagulls or something. There is some trusted confidant that not even Aniki knows about. Furthermore, this person has always been in charge of watching and managing the gold. It's possible that this person is a dilettante of a very rich family who provides his financing in the first place through a monk devil's contract. That's hot. That's kinda hot. Rich person who just gives money? Okay, now that sounds weird when I say like this. Oh, it's really hot. Could it be that this confidant, this Beatrice-sama, is trying to test which of our sons and daughters is most fitting to be financed by her gold? What Kiryu said was something that all of his siblings wanted clarified. Upon reflection, I realized that during the time Kinzo's strange epigraph has been displayed in a hall beneath the portrait of a witch, they had always whispered that the one who solved the puzzle would receive everything, yet no one had ever clearly stated it. It was just something that everyone had hoped might be true. That had, right here, right now, been clearly expressed by Beatrice's letter. It clearly specified that everything of the Shinomiya family would be given to the one who found the gold. Is she continue reading? Kinzo-sama has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my portrait. The rules apply equally to all who can read the epitaph. If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to you. Tonight, I ask that you enjoy the battle of whist with Kinzo-sama to the fullest. I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant. Beatrice the Golden. Wink, wink. I love her. Quirky music. Father, I know you can hear me. Please respond. The door to Kinzo's study has been violently beaten against over and over again like a percussion instrument. The screams coming from the other side were Kraus, Rudolph, and sometimes Eva's voices. It was the siblings who were trying to interlude upon Kinzo's study to question him about the truth behind the mysterious letter. Kinzo was eating, yeah, he doesn't give a shit. Respect him. As an elegant tablecloth was set over the desk, and the fabulous dinner that had colored the table down in the dining hall was once again laid out. Kinzo continued his meal in silence. Shannon, taking away an empty plate, looked uncomfortably within the door being beaten on and Kinzo's face. Poor Shannon. Everyone is calling for you, but... what would you like me to do? Leave it. God values silence, and so do I during dinner. Should I silence him? There is no need. It does not even wrap my ears. Kinzo coolly tasted his food. Genji quietly lowered his hand and took a single step back. As he did, Ken, who stood everybody's here, who stood in reserve like a shadow behind and to the side of Genji, opened his mouth. Maria-sama seemed to be receiving a letter from Beatrice-sama, so I assume they want to verify its authenticity. That's the devil. She has started already? Come, Beatrice. There is nothing lacking in coins that have been wagered. Shall we enjoy this night to the fullest? I have no intention of losing. Your smile is mine for all eternity. If I could see it one more time, I couldn't regret losing my wealth, my honor, and even my life. Well then, the roulette has begun to spin. Which pocket will the ball fall into? Noir, Rouge, or House takes all? Come, you may begin, Beatrice. I'll show you the power of miracles once more. Yay, glass cutter. 耳の中からに Rondo of Witch and Reasoning. Ooh, 2 hours. Okay. Now it's 11. Legend of the Gold. Is it chapter name? Oh, it is. Okay. Saturday, October 4th, 1986. Oh, it had year here all the time. Okay. The strange letter that the witch has entrusted Maria with had wiped all memories of dinner from our minds. Maria has been repeatedly barraged with questions by Auntie Rosa and other parents, and was now in the worst of tempers because no one would believe her. Even when we kids started talking to her, she would just ignore us. Our parents were all stirred up over the gold, firing back and forth about the distribution of the assets and completely forgetting that we children were even here. Even though I'd already figured that they had been talking about this is in the shadows, I never thought they'd be this blunt about it, and at least to us kids it was a considerable shock. From what we could overhear, all of our parents wanted as much money as possible, as soon as possible. Back and forth about grandfather's inheritance. Back and forth about the distribution of the gold if it was found. I don't know, I kind of always feel a little bit like mockingly, whatever. Feel funny about people, about greedy people in wealth. But to be fair, I never had wealth that I need to be greedy about, so maybe it's kind of dumb to make fun of wealthy people for wanting to stay wealthy. I mean, it is. We should make fun of wealthy people wanting to stay wealthy. But you know, when I were in their place, I would probably act the same. So, I should use my position of being low middle class and mock all the rich people. Back and forth about the distribution of the gold, if it was found, about advance payment in cash. It was so despicable, I couldn't bear to watch, even though one of them was my dad. It looked like Jessica felt the same way. We left our seats, although no one had asked us to leave, and went to hang out somewhere apart from our parents. I see. Now, I really understand why grandfather didn't want to show his face during meals. I'm so disillusioned with our parents now. The money, the inheritance. How could they act like that right out of the open? Well, I'm already completely disillusioned with that old bastard. There's no way I could think any worse of him. And you think I'm not? Even so, that freaking shocked me. Shocked me to the bottom of my heart. Jessica looked down at the floor, irritated. She was always talking about how bad her parents were, but maybe she hadn't really felt that way deep inside. I could realize that from the depths of Jessica's shock. I could realize the depths of Jessica's shock. Huh? I could realize that from the depths of Jessica's shock. You're both minors and still being brought by your parents, so you might not understand. But getting money is neither a simple nor a pretty thing. Okay. You're still Stop saying you are still minors, so I won't try to force you to understand right now. But still, I'd like you to realize that your parents are just doing their best in their own way. Oh, great. George Ianke's gotten all mature. I know that you're working hard as a full-fledged member of society, but does it mean when the conversation turns to money and assets and stuff, you're capable of turning into a shameless, greedy vulture like our dads? If it would just be about me, then no, I wouldn't want to do that. However, when your family and your employees, your subordinates and their families are all counting on you, there are some times when you must fight. That's cute that you think that people think about their employees, of course. But You know, they usually don't do it. I hate this kind of fights. The back and forth about grandfather's inheritance, it just makes me wanna puke. Jessica pretended to spit violently. That harsh reaction made the depth of your pain very clear. Let's stop talking about this. All of this about grandfather's hidden gold, about property and inheritance, is our parents' problem, not ours. I agree. George is like, yeah, fuck them. He went with the minors, he went with the minors. I understand. At the very least, I think that being considerate and staying out of the parents' way when they're talking is a duty of their children. Hmm. There's the fun. Where's the fun in that? Everyone knows a phrase. Adults are filthy. Is this a phrase? Is this people actually using this shit? Weird. But we had now seen that for ourselves, and that really did give it a shock. George Anarchy was now pretty much an adult, and I had already been disillusioned with my dad in the first place, so the shock wasn't that big for us. But it looked like it was different for Jessica. It looked like the shock that Jessica has received was even bigger than I had thought. This girl, she was always talking badly about your parents, but it looked like she hadn't changed at all on inside since long ago. Even now, she was still a pure-hearted and delicate person who couldn't doubt others. I'm sure she respects her parents as much as anyone else does. And when her parents started joining in with all the other parents right in front of us children, going money, money, inheritance, my money. So it was no surprise that the shock of hearing that was too big. Jessica-chan, please don't start hating your mother and father. I won't ask you to understand them, but at least don't hate them. Meh. I get it, just leave me alone a bit. 6 years ago, I would have further taunted and dejected Jessica, but even I have grown up over the past 6 years. I realized that it would be better to leave Jessica as she was right now. When are we gonna talk about logic? Jessica suddenly looked away sulkily and left the parlor. She probably wanted to be left alone for now. I could do nothing but wordlessly watch her back as she left. Come to think of it, I wonder where Maria-chan went. She's probably still huddled up on the floor in front of the portrait. Maria, who truly looked up to witches, had expected that coming in direct contact with Beatrice and receiving the letter as a proof would be an event that would surprise everyone and make them happy. However, the adults had doubted authenticity and had not taken Maria's story at face value and had thoughtfully bombarded her with questions. Even I didn't find it hard to imagine how much that must have hurt Maria. We couldn't speak to either Maria or Jessica. In the end, George, Aniki, and I just abandoned ourselves to the sound of falling rain in the dark night. I wonder what's happened with the typhoon. Maybe there's some news. George Aniki walked over to the corner of the parlor where the television was. He kindly called me over, and he couldn't really have cared less where the typhoon was on the sea now. So I didn't go over to the television, but instead I loaded around the window. Yay, let's go! The wind hasn't packed up. I'm so excited. I like this part. The wind hasn't picked up much here, but I wonder if it's horrible over the sea. I didn't hear from the weather report that there was a severe storm warning. Kiri-san, how's it going with you adults? So lots to talk about? It looked like she caught the sarcasm. Kiri-san shrugged. The stomachache of a discussion could continue all night. It's very tiring. Well, all I can say is, I hope you enjoy playing vultures on to grandfather's property to your heart's content. It's disgusting. I agree with you on that. If I could just sleep away like you, I would do it. Unfortunately, I can't. What are you doing now? Even if I'm not allowed to speak, it's not easy being a partner, you know? Kiryu-san sighed it, smiling bitterly. Well, yeah. They probably won't let Kirisan, who married into the family, speak. Still, as that partner, she had no choice but to stay by his side and support him. Being in a line of fire, she must be having to bear far greater mental pressure than me. I wasn't going to apologize, but realizing that I'd spoken too harshly, I cut the sarcasm for the time being. So, how does it look? Is he still stuck on topic of the mysterious witch, Beatrice? More or less. They've been putting out secret agreement for some time, hoping for some kind of agreement between the four of them on the distribution of grandfather's inheritance after his death. And now, some unknown fifth person has appeared to make things even more complicated, so there's no way they'll make for a peaceful conversation. One moment they were snarling at each other, and the next they'll set up a common front. As a Hunisans, not the only one getting headaches. On the other hand, they all wanted a larger portion other than the other siblings, so they were all rivals. But on the other hand, they didn't want Wang Yan to be snatched up by anyone other than the siblings, so they were also all allies. I couldn't get her to tell me details, but they were apparently arguing on and on about her ceasefire agreement and rule to prevent anyone from getting ahead. The situation under which their position would be protected and what legal measurements could be taken in the worst case scenario. By this point, my emotions had shot straight past disgust, and now I perceived them as a force to be reckoned with. So, basically, Beatrice is like saboteur sent by grandfather. He probably wanted to scare the hell out of his children for just talking about the distribution of the inheritance without him. Who is Beatrice, I wonder? If she is who she says she is, then she's a mystery that no one knew about until today, and she also knows about the existence of their grandfather's hidden gold. Hello, she said. She made it? This is cute sprite of Kirisan. Look at her. She has cute eyes, and she has like a finger. Cute. Furthermore, she even entrusted with the head ring. She must truly have been trusted by him. Well, obviously, I don't think she's a witch riding around on a broom, but she's surely a person mysterious enough to merit being called a witch. I just hope Maria-chan will go into some detail about that. Even though she's just a little girl, everyone has been just chewing her up over this. They really scared her, and now she can't even ask her things she might have answered. I wonder if those people have ever read The North Wind and the Sun. What's The North Wind and the Sun? Excuse me? Oh, it's Bing time! Yo! The North Wind and the Sun. Aesop's Fables, really? Can you tell me content real quick? Maybe I know it and I just don't get it. Let's read it. Can we read it? It's supposed to be short, isn't it? Fables of Aesop. Who the fuck is Aesop? Oh, Aesop is the guy who made a lot of shit, right? About the goat and the wolf, right? This is Aesop? Is it Lon? No, it's fucking critique. I don't want to read a fucking critique. Story and application. Competition with North Wind and the Sun. Decide which the stronger of the two. The challenge was to make passing travelers to remove his cloak. However, how the North Wind blew, the traveler only wrapped his cloak tighter to keep warm. But when the sunstone shone? What the fuck is shone? The traveler was overcome with heat and soon took off his cloak. Excuse me? So what's this about? To not go into competitions that you not prepared for? What? So in the context, Kiri-sama says that they over fucking wounded Maria. Okay. What is for certain that is Maria received a letter from a person who took the name Beatrice. Entrusting Maria with a letter and hiding away even now, when she could have just appeared and talked to us directly, she sure is shy for a mystery person. Hey, Butler-kun, do you think that someone called Beatrice actually exists? Oh? Who knows? Ooh, centrist? It's probably just a false name, right? Like, she's grandfather's representative, so she had permitted to take the name of a witch from his delusion? No, that's superfaction. Nice. Stupefaction. Stupefaction? Huh? No, that's not what I meant. Right now, there's a total of 8. Ooh, she knows. Of 18 people here on Rakinjima. Do you think is that there is 19th person? Are there really a whole 18 people on this island? Wondering about that, I began counting my fingers, and it really did come out to 18 people. Do you think that an 18th person exists, you say? What exactly do you mean? Just what I said. It looked like the person who sent Maria that umbrella was not one of us 18. Therefore, isn't it reasonable to think that an 18th person exists, and that this was the person who lent Maria the umbrella? Well, yeah, I suppose. Then, where exactly is this person now? At the very least, she must have been on the island when it started raining. And since that time, the weather has become progressively worse, so taking a boat out would be pretty much impossible. In that case, that person must still be on the island, hiding from the rain somewhere, and without being spotted by any of us. Certainly, all of us have been randomly profiling around all over the mansion and the guest house, but no one has bumped into an 18th person. Even so, the island is huge. There might be other places to hide from the rain outside the mansion and the guest house. At about this time, I began to realize the direction of Kiryu-san's doubt were taking us in. Kiryu-san was denying that the 19th person existed. Beatrice was one of us 18s. Ooh. In other words, she thought that someone she knew well was using her name. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Sorry, squeaky chair. Ouch. Beatrice really was, as she described herself, this person would definitely be the most honored guest. The most honored of confidence, trusted by grandfather. Ooh, so you maybe think it's like Eva or something like that? That's interesting. There is no way that grandfather wouldn't give that kind of person a warm reception. She would surely have been ushered into the mansion. However, we haven't seen anyone. Wait a second, isn't the line of reasoning a little too hustly? Yes, no one spotted them, but that doesn't mean that you can deny the possibility that 19th person exists, right? Maybe for some reason they landed on the island stealthily and been hiding since then. Even since. It's what they call the devil's proof. It's easy to prove that something exists. If this Beatrice appears in front of us and says hi, then everything is resolved, but it's impossible to prove that there is no 19th person. Yes, Butler-kun, your way of reasoning isn't that. In the current situation, there is not enough information to either accept that 19th person exists or deny it. But if you flip over the chessboard and think of it this way, we can be nearly sure that the existence of an 18th person is impossible. Flip over the chessboard was one of Kiryu-san's favorite phrases. I had also been influenced by those words and used them myself from time to time. When you get stuck trying to find a move in chess or shogi by flipping the board over and looking at everything from your opponent's standpoint, you can often see a strategy that would give you the upper hand. Derived from this, it means to think by putting yourself in your opponent's shoes. Okay, Let's say that 19th person called Beatrice actually exists. That person must have managed without being seen by anyone, so stealthily arrived on this island and remained hidden since then. Oh, but they... No. Okay, so Beatrice is supposed to be seen with Maria, but none of you knows that Maria was here, and none of you noticed her, and none of you give her the umbrella, so you, as you not seen Maria, you could not as well not seen Beatrice when she was here. Without being seen by anyone, so to stealthy alive to this island and remain hidden since then, they had some reason for this, right? In that case, why did they deliberately appear before Maria and hand her the letter? It really was a contradiction. Yeah, maybe they're like trickster. Or maybe they're a killer and they actually want to kill you. If they had some reason for hiding themselves, then they should have stayed hidden the whole time, but they had appeared openly in front of Maria. Well, the reason is that she wanted to give her the letter. It's not unknown of. Well, wait, Maria even said it. Didn't she say that she had been made a messenger? Since Maria was the youngest and looked the most innocent. Why would they need a messenger? If they just wanted a letter delivered to a family conference, they could have mailed it. If they mailed it to each of the 4 siblings, they would be unable to ignore it. Maybe they wanted to go for the goat, or maybe they wanted to meet Ginzo secretly, or maybe they have a villa on the island and they live in here and you don't know about this because you took over to explore the island. There was no need for them to carry it themselves and secretly handed it over. That really does sound pretty weird. Does it? I'm not a huge person of reasoning though, so maybe it does sound weird for normal people. In the first place, if Beatrice existed and she wanted to make her presence known to everyone, then she could have just openly presented herself to all of us. Despite that, she chose the vague method of appearing through the little girl called Maria-chan and only gave us an indistinct impression of who she was. Contradiction. I don't know if game gonna play mind games with me, or is it actually like this? Let's go a little deeper, shall we? She appeared in front of Maria, trying to give up the impression that the 19th person existed, and yet she still hadn't appeared before us, and is hiding somewhere at this very moment. The contradiction between this, keep it in mind, and flip over the chessboard. In other words, the question is, why would a person want to give the impression that Beatrice exists as a 19th person? She has such a like ice attorney pose. If this person wanted to hide, then they wouldn't made their presence known. And if they wanted to show themselves, they would have used the roundabout approach of entrusting someone with a letter. Which means, it's simple. Beatrice is one of the 18s. That is why they are creating the illusion that there is someone outside of the 18s, a powerful suggestion of an 18th person. The only person who could profit from this would be some 19th person in hiding. It would be one of original 18 people. Of course, this reasoning full of horrors. If you turn over even a few of its premises, it will simply fall apart. characters. So who could it be? Uh-oh. This is the shit the game wants you to do, but none of this is gonna matter. Maybe it's gonna matter. Okay, let's do it anyway. So it could be Kinzo. We're trying to think who could be the person who gave Maria an umbrella and wouldn't be noticed by any other people. It could be Kinzo, and if it's Kinzo, then it means servant's gonna go along with them, with him. Like, if one servant saw Kinzo, they would probably won't tell other servants that they saw Kinzo, right? Hold on. Sorry, I heard a weird sound. Oh. So, it could be Kinzo, it could not be any one of those. At least personally, because they were all in the same room. Right? And not any single one of... except for Natsuki. Not a single one of husbands and wives. Except for Natsuki, who had a headache and who went away. So it could be Natsuki, if you think about it like that. Could it be any of the kids? No, because all kids were together, so it's... we deselect. Kids cannot be selected. So it could be Natsuki, it could be Rosa, who went away too. And because she slipped, so she and Maria could easily be working together against this, right? The first thing I thought was that it could be Natsuki, who just changed clothes. Well, Natsuki's outfit is pretty complicated, so who knows. So it could be Natsuki, it could be Kinzo, it could be Rosa and Maria. It's a woman, right? If she saw a Beatrice, it's probably one of those. It seems like Natsuki to me. I mean, it could be Rosa. And Rosa was unsupervised, right? Oh no, she wasn't. Because Kayan saw her. Could Maria be lying about the appearance of a person? No, but she's so happy about it. I don't think Maria would be such a good actor. Natsuki is sus. It could be Shannon, but... ooh. She has a little, like, leg here. Okay. Interesting. It could be Shannon, but I don't think it's Shannon. Okay, yeah. Of course, this reasoning is full of holes. If you turn over even a few of its premises, it will simply fall apart. But I think it is almost certainly correct. This was quickly starting to sound pretty creepy. Who had sent Maria the umbrella and handed her a letter? So if you think about it even more, the Kraus has direct access to the Kinzo's possession. So he could actually have found the gold. If you're thinking about it, a rational story, he could find the gold, and he didn't want to share the gold with anybody else, so he made this Beatrice, and Natsuki is on it with him, and she just dressed as somebody else and went and greet Maya, give her the letter, give her the umbrella, said she's Beatrice, and then went away, right? But Beatrice is real, so it can be. Who had lent Maria the umbrella and handed her the letter? All of us 18 has been ruled out, and yet Beatrice was hidden amongst those 18. What was the person planning, hiding the true form and pretending to be a Beatrice? I also suspect that it might have been Maria-chan play acting, but the contents of a message were extremely complicated, so it's hard to think that Maria-chan prepared it himself. However, I can't deny the possibility that Maria-chan is working together with someone. Yeah, so it could be Eva. It could be Rosa, I mean. It could be Rosa, and the point, the Rosa's motive is that she wants siblings to like work together on fighting gold. To be fair, it does seems like the motive of a witch, in quotes, would be to make siblings try to find gold even more thoughtfully and to kind of confirm that gold exists, so it would make them look for it, right? Because all of them need money, and they decided they all gonna share the gold, so it could be Rosa. Oh my god, if it's Rosa, does it mean that bad parenting was just an act and she actually a great mom? I'm so happy if that was true. However, I can deny the possibility, yeah. Wait a sec, Maria is a 9-year-old kid. What on earth could you suspect her of planning, and with who? And what about your serious, too honest and obedient character? Yes, I also understand what kind of person Maria-chan is, but I think that's exactly why it's possible. That girl's a dreamer who looks up to and blindly accepts the existence of witches. So if a person appeared in front of her and said they were the witch Beatrice, Maria-chan would be so happy that she would just swallow it up, I think. Okay, so how would Natsuki know if it was Natsuki? How would Natsuki and Kraus know about Maria's personality? They saw her once a year. Maybe they did know about... maybe she didn't really change for years. But I believe in the existence of another person on the island. Why not? So you're saying that if someone disguised himself by wearing that fancy dress from the portrait, tricking Maria wouldn't be that hard? Of course, with this reasoning, all of us women would become the primary suspects. Anyway, who did Maria-chan encounter? Asking her the details of that would be our best and closest key to solving the riddle. But that key has been obstinately closed up inside her heart. Everyone denied the existence of a witch without listening to her and bragged her with too many questions about who Beatrice actually was. Maria-chan probably won't open her heart to the adults now. Ooh. She's a snaky type. She's like, oh, butler, go ask her. In the dim hall in front of the portrait of Beatrice, Maria was sobbing. No one believed I met you. I showed them the letter you gave me, but they still don't believe. Anyway, Maria-chan, worse intermission? Okay. Maria-chan holding the key to whether Beatrice is one of the 18th people or an 18th person. Maria is stubborn, you know? That girl, when she gets angry, is pretty hard to make you feel better. Butler-kun, I think there is a higher probability of a kid like you to cheer her up than an adult like me. After she feels better, try asking her. I know you don't care about all this back and forth of the distribution of the inheritance, but don't you think that classic Western mansion mystery situation is exciting? I think so. She knows me. Who in the world is the person who gave Maria-chan the letter? It makes my intellectual curiosity tingle. Even while being made to sit through those boring money talks, you can call this exciting? You really are tough. And also something else. I shrugged, exasperated. But I had realized. She had noticed the rejection I was feeling because I was overheard our parents' turbulent discussion and was probably trying to turn my mood around. She had at least managed to make me feel good enough to hurl abuse. She wasn't my real mother, so I never felt like calling her mom. But it did make me think she's a real adult. Hey brats, so this is where you are? Kitty, you really look your time fixing your makeup, didn't you? From now on, I started railing it too. I'm sorry, a woman's makeup takes a long time. True. So, how was the discussion between without me? I'm sure everything was all peaceful and harmonious. Kirsten pokes a weak spot under my arm with her elbow. We decided to take a break to cool our heads a little. It looked like it'll last all night. I could cry. His way of talking hadn't changed, but he couldn't completely hide his fatigue. I couldn't say I was sympathetic, but he looked beautiful compared to his normal, energetic self. Still, that range is awful. I really didn't want to go back to the guest house. It looked like Natsuhina-san made preparations for us to spend the night here in the mansion. All we do? We don't need to think about that you're done, right? If you run out of enough energy to head back to our rooms, then we can let them take care of us. You're right. We can think about it later. What about you, Butler? If I'd stayed, I'd just get in the way. It'll be nice to go back over here. Okay. Will you go back soon? I don't know. It'll be lonely to head back by myself. I head back when the rest of the kids are in the group. Yeah, that'd be good. So, Butler, you won't just be going to sleep that easy, right? Yeah, I'll probably be talking up with the cousins. It feels like we might be up all night. Is there a problem with that? Okay, if when the adult discussion is over you are still awake, I wanted to have a little talk as a family. Uh-oh. And what? That doesn't sound like you. Apparently Kiryu-san was thinking the same thing. What are you talking about? She asked him in a small voice. It looked like Kiryu-san didn't have a clue what Dad was talking about either. I want to talk to you about it as well. I'll tell you later, so don't ask now. Oh, he's dead for sure. Please. I don't think there's anyone who ignores their family as much as this old bastard. And this was the guy that was asking us to have a real family talk. Both Kiryu-san and I couldn't help but get wide-eyed. Don't make that scared look face. Don't make that scared looking face. I'm the one that should be scared. I mean... At that point, he swallowed his words for an instant. I don't remember Dad being the kind of person to artificially dumb up suspense. You're freaking me out, Dad. You've got your family all here right now. Quit beating around the bush and spit it out. I'm probably going to die. Gonna get murdered tonight. Yay! Yay! So true. There was a huge crash of thunder. It must have been really close. Dad's expression, brightly illuminated by the lightning, has burned into his eyes. That face, which always looked so sure of itself and which always wore a taunting expression, was, for some reason that I couldn't explain, strangely frail. My nose is itchy. He was so worn out that he looked like a different person. What? What are you talking about? That doesn't sound like you. I agree. What happened? You look so timid all of a sudden. It's not like you. I'm going to fix my makeup. Don't follow me. Dad turned away weakly. After that, only Kiryu-san and I were left, still wide-eyed, and... Fuck, I ruined the bit. What's the word? And before he died, he said, I will die. And he died. After that, only Kiryu-san and I were left, still wide-eyed. What the hell was that? He's gonna get murdered tonight? You don't think that mysterious letter scared him? Hasn't he been watching too many serial murder movies? Kiryu-san didn't answer my light-hearted words and continued to stare at my dad's disappearing back. Butler-kun, when you told Rudolph-san to talk about it, he left without telling us anything. Even though he said that he had something to say to everyone, he didn't answer you. Why? Flip over the chessboard. And when you do, there is a contradiction that he said he wanted to talk, but then couldn't. Oh, somebody was listening? What, can you see anything by looking from that perspective? Yes, I can see something. He wants to talk about something. However, he doesn't have the courage to bring it up. So he actually meant, in that case, chase after me, talk to me, and question it out of me. He also meant the opposite when he says, don't follow me. He actually means follow me and force me to answer. Honestly, what a spoiled little child. Literally, what the fuck? Ooh, are you sure the theory is okay? That's ridiculous. Can get detectives deduce the emotions and feeling between men and women? They can't, right? Figuring out the feelings of the opposite sex is even more advanced art than exploring the tricks in difficult crimes cases. Oh, okay, as you say, Curie. If you ask me, romance novels have much deeper mysteries than masterpiece mystery novels. I really disagree with that one. I really disagree. They usually just don't talk straight up, and then they just don't talk. That's it. At least mystery novels, was written by people who probably fucked in their life, I see. Is that how it is? I'll be this little spoiled little child. He normally loves to act off, but tonight he's completely tired out from this heated discussion. He probably wants someone to lead on in the moment. What the fuck? And responding to that need is a duty of its partner. Pretentious? Huh. Sounds passionate. Then I'll leave the old bastard in your hands. What about the logic discussion? When it's gonna come out? As Kirisan departed, I called out to her. What? I wanted to say thanks. Thank you. My gloomy mood was cleared up a lot. That's good. Communication is a bitch. Communication is important. Contradiction, queen. After answering with a win, Kirisan followed after that. Yeah, now question her intelligence, to be fair. Natsuki could be found in dimly lit hallway. Now and then, the thunder would crash, but this had no effect on Natsuki's expression. Who's Natsuki? Her expression was completely worn out. The discussion... Oh, it's the headache woman. The discussion has been just taking place between the relatives in a dining hall was repeating itself inside Natsuki's mind. Don't flashback me? Fuck you. Beatrice has let me drink water. Beatrice has proclaimed that in addition to the gold, the hardship, and all of the assets of the Shiramiya family would be given to the person who could solve the riddle. In other words, she planned to undermine the absolute guarantee that Kraus, as the older brother, had to succeed the family had. Ordinarily, the other siblings had absolutely no chance to succeed the head. To them, this proposal by Beatrice was extremely desirable. It was obvious that they would accept Beatrice's proposal. Even without playing clumsy detective games, she knew that this so-called 19th person Beatrice couldn't exist. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I really don't believe that there is no 19th person. There is 19th person. Probably solution for this shit gonna be really stupid. This was a message employing a fictional character called Beatrice as a messenger. It may as well have been written in Kinzo's own handwriting. The proof was that Kinzo remained stubbornly natural as to that letter authenticity. He was completely ignorant these reckless claims that he shouldn't be able to ignore that he had given up the head ring. In short, Kinzo had wordlessly admitted that the letter held his own message. Most likely, one of his servants has given Maria the letter. Kinzo had probably worked out an elaborate plan where the dress from the portrait would be prepared. And someone, probably Shannon, yeah, but I thought it was you who was 19, who was 18. Okay. And someone, probably Shannon, would be made to wear and deliver the letter and the umbrella. Yeah, I feel confident in 18th person. By doing that, he could make it seem like the witch from the portrait actually existed. Okay, so let's be rational. Let's not go to, theology and shit and meta world or whatever. Let's think there's no witches. Witches doesn't exist. So I believe that there's an 18 person on an island and they could actually be Kinzo's like lover or something. And they did actually show up to Maria and didn't show up to anybody else because they're fucking trickster or something. Or we just don't know their motivation yet to show up only to Maria. By doing that, he could make it seem like the witch from the portrait actually existed. No, if anything, that is why you could be certain that Kinzo was behind all of this. In this case, it was just as if Kinzo was bottled in on a sibling's private discussion, and by announcing that he would give everything to the person who could solve the riddle, actually we did not saw Shannon, right? We don't know where she was in the time where Maria was under the rain. This game tricks me again. Fuck me. Fuck this game. We could solve the riddle. Kinzo's weekend crowds will have an advantage. Now it was certain. Kinzo has listed on the siblings' discussion in the parlor earlier that day, so he had known how Kraus had starved off the attack by the other tree, and to make the scales of the battle to go back into balance, he had sent out the strange letter which benefited the other tree. Eva and Rudolph has dragged Rosa in, who was a weak position among the siblings because of her age, and they were trying once again to overwhelm Kraus 3-on-1 and push through their crazy reasoning. And so, they had resumed that what had once been a nearly deciding conflict and were repeatedly pressing Kraus to pay them a large amount of money. Talk about the advance payment, with what? Excuse me, I didn't understand anything that I just read. Fuck, wrong one. So slow. State of the attack of that tree and to make... Oh, she talks about... they talked before, makes scales of the battle to go into balance, and had sent out this strange letter which benefited the other tree. Even Rudolph has dragged Rosa in, who had a weak position among the siblings because of her age, and they were trying once again to overwhelm Kraus 3-on-1 and push through their crazy reasoning, and so they had presumed that had one been a nearly decided conflict and were repeatedly pressing Kraus. Okay, so let's interpret this as good opportunity for 3 younger siblings to take advantage of the situation and went against Kraus for the succession, right? Of course, even without the story about the hidden gold, the Shemiya family's store of wealth was vast. Just that store was worth more than an oak by itself. Even though the hidden gold was buried forever along with Kinzo's death, there would be more than enough to satisfy. Therefore, even if they had no interest in the gold itself, there would be the lifelong fear that on the off chance that someone found the gold, that person would be granted the position the family had. And this kind of Achilles heel would definitely be taken advantage by someone sooner than later. The only person with this fatal weakness was the successor of the head, Kraus. The other siblings has found. No, they had been told by Kinzo about something that only Kraus could lose, and they had thoughtfully taken advantage of this. Really, you think Kinzo would go against you? He hates you that much? It's kind of funny. That's becoming like a fucking family comedy with evil grandpa. Thus, Natsuki, as Kraus' only ally in his painful position and as his wife, had believed she was fighting alongside him. She kept trying to point out to him that the existence of a gold itself was a farce and that there was no need for him to compromise. Kraus had always told Natsuki, he had told all the siblings. He had always said that the hidden gold was nothing more than a fiction created by Kinzo. Therefore, Natsuki has believed that as his wife. What a fucking loser. Don't never trust somebody who said these things. Never trust anybody, Natsuki. Ever. Anybody. Even your husband. Even your child. Especially your child. Like, your child can fuck you up. And that foundation had supported her husband. Yet her words would not reach him. Even though she was fighting, so why are you doing? Why are you like laughing at the fence? What? And letting all his strength, he continued to fight by himself and was trying to compromise. Yeah, he's probably just, you know, a misogynist. Wondering why she could not be of use to him, Natsuki felt sorrow, shame, and even anger. It had happened when everybody decided to take a short break to cool their heads. Natsuki had flared up against Kraus. Enraged, she had asked why she could not be useful to him. He had told her that he wanted to talk about something and had invited her into one of his private rooms, which she was normally not allowed to enter. Excuse me? That room has been sealed with a heavy-looking padlock, and just looking at it had given her an uncomfortable feeling. What? This is kind of fucked up that he had his own room that you're not allowed to go into. What about... I understand the boundaries, but, you know, it's not about you are not allowed to go here. It's because you respect and you don't do it by your own will. You should not go in. But okay, fuck. There is no reason for you to worry about what those three or even the suspicious person who calls himself Beatrice says. After all, the gold is just a ruse created by father. There is no way something like that could be found. I feel like you... the most... like, out of the truth as you can be out of all the characters that we heard from so far. It is set in stone that you will be the successor of a family. What are you afraid of? Like, he probably knows something that you don't. Or he believes in something that you don't. Kraus removes the padlock on the door. Uh-oh! Maybe it's a gold in here. He then motion for Natsuki to enter. Enter. What is this? There's something I want to show you. I have never shown it to you before. Yeah, that's time. Natsuki timidly opened the door with a dubious expression on her face. It was pitch black. She searched for a switch to turn on the light, but since this was her first time in the room, she didn't know where it was. Kraus entered behind her, pushing her in, and closed the door before making any attempts to turn the lights. The two were swallowed up by the darkness. The only sound of Kraus locking the door rang out through the dark. What are you doing? The lights! I'm turning it on now. Wait. True to his word, Kraus pushed the switch on the wall. This is so cheesy. Like, this is the most corny fucking chandelier you can ever have. And it's not chandelier. I don't know how it's called. Either way. Like, this is awful. Who made this? This is so cringe. This is such a, like, meh. And flickering light turned on and lit up the room. It could look good in, like, normal room, but it could not look good in, like, this luxurious mansion. I fucking cringe. What is... Natsuki her breath taken away. The room had no windows, and at a glance it appeared to be empty. In the middle of the room, a small round table has been set. Yeah, he's a psychopath. And the lights brighten only the table, as if there were the leading party in the play. Laid out on top of the table was a red tablecloth of elaborate design covered with dust. And on top of that, something about the size of a grown man's arm has been set down. That something took not his breath away. A body? Speechless. I forgot it was here! I forgot about gold. Oh, I didn't even question the existence of a gold, but it was indeed real. It's a gold ingot of incredible purity. Without this, no one would ever believe in the legend of a gold. It was an ingot of solid gold. Even with the faint lights, it sparkled with a noble and delighted gold glint. Ooh, Danganronpa cut off. This is not proper ingot. I don't even know whether it was cast inside or outside the country. It takes a high level of skill to make the purest of solid gold ingots. Ingots. And in order to verify that purity, it is standard to have the original foundry and the name on the bank that guaranteed it imprinted as a gold. Oh, really? I never saw a gold ingot ever. However, this ingot did not have that kind of seal, I mean in real life. This mysterious gold bar has come from an unknown foundry. Look here. There is nothing to be afraid of. It's just a bar of gold. Natsuki, following Krause's word, timidly approached the ingot. Right here. Krause pointed to the surface of the ingot. Natsuki concentrated on this section. It was the eagle. Right here there was imprint of a one-winged eagle crest. Natsuki's breath was taken away once again. That's right. This is the legendary ingot that Dad said he received from the witch that the president of Maruso witnessed and was allowed to select at random to take back with him. That gained the trust of the fixers in the business world. I had to use all possible means to find it, before the other siblings could. How good, then, the legends of Father Gold is? It actually exists. The gold that Ushinomiya Kinzo received from Beatrice actually exists. Oh. Okay, so if it was just one ingot, you can still doubt it, but he said that this guy witnessed and was allowed to select at random to take back with him. Allowed to select at random, so he probably saw all of this. Okay, so this confirms it. Probably. How could it really exist? Natsuki was shocked. Krause had always said that Kinzo's gold was just fabrication, so she believed it was his wife. However, the reality was different. He had held definite proof and had been more certain than any of the other siblings that the legend of a gold was true. Because of this, Krause was deeply frightened at the possibility that someone other than himself would find the gold that he had failed to find, costing him everything. But to Natsuki, this truth was more than enough to split open her heart. She had thought that, as Krause's wife, she should be his closest confidant, which was why she had been selfishly supporting him. Uh-oh, it was last straw to her. And yet, he had hidden this fact from her until today. Why? Have I been so undeserving to you of your trust? I didn't mean it like that. It was only that there was no need to mention it. Is it all a wife? What? Means to you? Calm down. Becoming passionate easily is one of your bad habits. You're the one who's making me like that, aren't you? I've been supporting you as a wife even since I married into the family. For your sake, I threw away the family I was born into. I've been offered up my heart and my body to serve you. Yeah. That's like, yeah, you should not be patriarchal woman. Yeah, you really shouldn't. And in return, I get this? How could you? Crow's grimace looked annoyed. His expression effectively communicated how much he disliked this part of Natsuki. I don't think I can be of use to you anymore. And this is fine. I can resolve problems with the siblings by myself. I don't need your help! Ah! Another dead person right here. What a fucking loser! Is he dumb? Holy shit, he's so dumb. I'm gonna be so happy when he falls. That's wrong! No, that's wrong. This is the Shinomiya family's problem. It's true that I'm not permitted to have the family crest imprinted on my body, but I am still your wife. Even so, are you saying I'm not qualified? What do you mean, one crest? What? On your body? You mean like tattoo? Because she has a tattoo, right? We don't know. We know Shannon has a tattoo here, right? Is she like temporary tattoo? Or is she working here for the rest of her life? Can we see tattoo on somebody else? No. Oh, she can't even wear it on her clothes. Oh, okay. This drip is awful. These jeans in this coat. Ah. Even so, are you saying I'm not qualified to help you? Are you? I deliberately choose not to involve you out of consideration for you. Let's not talk any Gaslight Girl Boss Gatekeep. Let's not talk about this any further. It will likely only worsen your headaches. Take a rest for today. The siblings will deal with siblings' problem. It has nothing to do with you. That is all. Oh, she gonna rat on you now or something. This was not pleasant for you. So for her, him not telling her that a gold bar actually existed was the last straw, was a red flag, but him having a separate room that she was not allowed to enter did not ring any bells to her. She never questioned. She was like, yeah, he trusts me. That's why I can go to this room, right? Because he trusts me. Brave woman. No matter what medicine she took, no matter what scent she burned, it wouldn't heal. I fucking hate burned scents. They're so awful. On the other hand, by standing here alone in a dimly lit corridor, her head filled with the sound of a rain, and she went away and he was left in a room with his golden bar. He's gonna talk to it through, right? She felt like the pain has softened a little. Fortitude. I may have been Natsuki, but I was not a Shinomiya Natsuki. What's this? Denigrated. As being sorry excuse for a wife, verbally abused for not even being able to take care of that, even though I tried to properly perform the duties of a wife, but have been rejected even by my husband. I did my best raising my daughter, although it was the last job left for me. However, my anger and sadness, having no place to go, caused me to subconsciously strain that relationship too. Because I have been excessively strict in Jessica's education, I thoughtfully disliked her. Jessica despised me for not being interested in anything but grades. There is no longer anything I can do for the Shinomiya family. No, that's no good. Even so, I must help my husband dislodge schemes of the other greedy siblings. The head won't be around much longer. Eventually, Kraus will succeed the head, and the next succession was by Jessica. Strictly speaking, the man who enters the family by marrying Jessica will become the next head, but it all comes to the same thing. I have to make Jessica an excellent successor who everyone will accept as worthy to take over the Rishinamiya family. Holy shit, one of the pillars of her like trad wife agenda just fall, and she was like, yeah, I should concentrate all my efforts into my other pillar of trad wife agenda. So based in the years to come, the greater Shermia Eva will surely be continually plotting to fight the what? With the main family, this is... I don't know, it's pretty realistic to think that the Tradvive would be really like against other people and as a woman and find everybody suspicious and try to like look up over her fall. So that is all goes as she plans. Jessica will be dragged down from the succession with George in her place. It is regrettable, but George is a man and even more he matured as a person. If you could compare him to Jessica, who's right in the middle of your rebellion period and whose grades are below average, you can see at a glance who's more fit to succeed the head. Like, your methods are not working, your grades are below average. You should take other direction, other way to show her that she needs to study better to be a successor, but you just, oh my god, you just continue doing the same shit. Why parenting is like this? Why parents are like this? Oh, you can see at a glance who's more fit to shoot the head. So in order to secure Jessica's position, I need to turn her into an excellent person. After doing that, I want to find her an excellent husband, worthy of an excellent person. She will have become, yeah, you will find your husband. And she will marry him, for sure. Uh-oh, time to go, see ya, bye-bye.